NeShaunda is on the line. Now, on Monday, the 10th of April, she's going to be acting in the play What Do We Do Now, which we spoke to Kevo about not that long ago. So, good afternoon. How are you?
I'm fine. How you doing?
I'm brilliant, thanks. So, what was it that... Well, let's start with which character are you playing in the play?
I'm Kylie.
Kylie. So, you're the daughter, right?
Yes, correct.
Yeah. So what was it that drew you to play that role?
Kylie and I have a lot of similarities in our personality. She's very book smart. She's very outgoing. She's very outspoken, and she's very aware of what's going on around her.
Yeah.
Uh, I would say we resemble in that area. But Kylie, even though she's super smart and she's super aware, she's kind of naive to this guy that she meets and she wants to
Yeah.
date. And her mom, a lot of moms, they try to give us a warning so we can take heed ahead of time about certain people. And she's like, oh, he's not like that until she has to, go through her own experience and find out for herself. So,
Yeah. So what was the preparation process for this character? Did you have to do any research about maybe the time period?
um, not necessarily because I've always been a person who was interested in history
Yeah.
and American history, African American history, just history in general. So a lot of the issues that are going on kind of repeats itself to things that are going on to today. So I'm very
Yeah.
aware of what it is. So just
Mm.
to get in the right mind frame, I read the script once, incomplete, forward, and then I just kind of I tried to put myself in her shoes, but it wasn't really hard because it was stuff that I can already relate to.
Yeah. So did you feel that you already knew a lot about these issues because racism and other social issues are things that have always been with us, really. So
Right.
it's here today. You don't necessarily need to look back to see it.
Correct.
Yeah. Now, were there any particular parts in the play that are maybe hard to do? Like any particular scenes that were difficult in rehearsals and maybe still will be difficult in the performance?
Um, I wouldn't say that there are any difficult scenes. I used to have an issue getting into character when it comes to crying because I'm I guess I'm kind of like a tough person. It doesn't take a lot to make me cry.
Yeah.
And she, there's a scene where she finds out something bad happens and she has to just like lose it all and just cry
Mm.
in that instant. So that it used to be an issue for me, but I've kind of been working in that
Yeah.
area to where I can just cry on the spot. But I think that's about my only challenge.
So how do you cry on the spot? Because that sounds hard.
Uh, it takes practice.
Yeah.
Um, Everybody's different. In my case, I kind of have to think about the people that I would actually want to be here to see me doing this who are not here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah.
And how do you make it authentic? Because sometimes on the telly, you see people
Mhm.
acting crying and it's so obviously fake. They're like, and it almost looks like they're laughing. So
Right.
how do you avoid that on the stage? And I guess on the stage, you've only got
Mhm.
one take as well.
Right. um, I think that's the only thing that can really make me just get into that moment because
Yeah.
I had a cousin and a god brother who I always used to talk about acting with, and I told them what I wanted to do, and I told them, my aspirations, and it doesn't really take me much to get into my feelings because we were so close. So I kind of have to get in that mind frame and know that it's coming up, and visualize me talking to them, and it makes it easier if that makes sense.
Yeah. Now,
Yeah.
do you think the play is very much relevant to today, even though it's set 58 years ago? The
All right.
themes are unfortunately still with us.
Um, I'm sorry. Repeat the question one more time
Yeah.
because I want to make sure I answer it correctly. exactly.
Yeah. So do you think that the play is relevant to today? Because
Mm.
although it's set in 1965, like the
Mhm.
racism and other kind of social themes is still with us.
Yes, it's very relevant. If you go back in history and you look at everything that was happening in the 1960s, even before that, and today, it's pretty much the same thing. It's like history continues to repeat itself and
Yeah.
nothing is being done about it. But you also have, like we did in the playing, I'm sorry, in the script, where we
Yeah.
come together and we try to start these social groups to make a change, which, made things a little better today because we don't necessarily live the same way we lived in the
Yeah.
60s, but we still have the same issues. So,
Yeah.
yes.
Well, what's coming up for you after this show? Have you got any more performances and roles that you're looking forward to?
Yes. I actually do film.
Ooh.
I, yeah. I've done several episodes of Fatal Attraction,
Mm,
For My Man, Snapped, Atlanta Homicide. So I've done a lot of TV One and Oxygen episodes.
yeah.
Um, Coming September of this year, I will have a movie that'll be on Tubi by the name of The Games We Play. And then
Oh,
I have several more coming towards the end of the year in 2024.
excellent. So if this play was made into a film, would you want to play Kylie still?
Yes, of course. Yes.
Great. Well, where will we be able to buy tickets for the show, and where actually is the show specifically? What's the venue?
So it's actually going to be at Match Theater in Midtown Houston, and you can get the tickets online at matchhouston. I think it's matchhouston.org.
Excellent. And that's on Monday, the 10th of April, so mark your diary. So many thanks for talking to us today. It's been great to have you on.
No problem.